making Austin more affordable by changing its building regulations, getting our Austin Animal Center open again for intake. These are just two of the issues on the Austin City Council's agenda today. And KXAN City Hall reporter Grace Reeder has been all day there following these decisions and the debates. Grace, welcome and thanks for being with us. So let's first talk about the plan for the city's animal shelter. What is that plan and what does it include, and how will it address some of the concerns that the community's brought up?
Absolutely, Will. First, let's talk about those concerns. The city had several reviews done of specifically the Austin Animal Center. Those reviews brought back pages of things that the city could be doing better. Probably the most public-facing issue is the ability to take animals in. So right now, if you find a dog on the street, intake may be closed. You may not be able to bring it to the animal shelter. And so that's where this plan comes in. This is basically the vision plan for Austin Animal Services over the next 5 years. They went and talked to the community, to stakeholders, to animal advocates about what they want to see from the Animal Services Office, and essentially brought back 6 ways that the city could do better, things they're going to focus on. One of those is open intake. Other things are staff and volunteers. That did pass through City Council today, but it's worth noting that Chief Animal Services Officer Don Bland, who helped put that plan together, is still on administrative leave. Will.
Yeah, Grace, thank you so much for that update. I know you've been following that very closely, but let's talk about other things that were on the agenda today. What stood out to you and to people maybe watching at home?
Sure. So I think one of the things that they actually just wrapped up talking about here today, and one of the things that brought the most people out to City Hall, was a change to building code that's being proposed. And people sometimes roll their eyes and say, oh, I don't want to hear about building code, but it's so important to you. Here's what this changes. Basically, in many projects right now, developers, builders have to put more than one staircase into a building. The city is looking at potentially changing that and only making it so that one staircase is required in those buildings. Why should you care? Well, the people that talked here today say that A, it could help build different buildings, so buildings that have more light, because the structure can have more windows and the staircase in the middle of it. It also could create different and more building. Essentially, folks here today say that it could create additional affordable housing, another tool in the toolkit of Austin's land development code. There were also several adjustments and tweaks made by city council members. I talked to Councilmember Ryan Alter about some of those tweaks prior to the vote.
So there are a couple nuances as it relates to this issue. One is just how high you can go, and so we're working through that, how many stories or the height. Another is how big it should be. People call it the floor plate, but it's essentially just how big that building could be. And I think it's really important that as it relates to the size, we don't want these to just be studios or one bedroom. We want these to be homes where families can live.
I want to be clear that this was a public hearing today. The City of Austin is still working through this issue. Will.
And Grace, finally, several items got taken off the agenda today. That's a normal occurrence at any kind of city council meeting usually, but one of those included contentious items tied to artwork at the airport. Walk us through that situation.
Absolutely. So there were 3 contracts that were supposed to be on today's City Council agenda that were removed. They were 3 contracts for a cumulative roughly $10 million in art that was supposed to go at the Austin Airport as it expands. The issue that some City Council members and the mayor had with those projects is that the artists that had been selected were not local. I sat down with Austin Mayor Kirk Watson yesterday to talk about that. Talk a little about first the airport contracts and why it is that folks won't see those tomorrow.
I was very unhappy with the fact that they were being brought forward where $10 million roughly, plus or minus, was going to go to artists, national artists. And that was the first thing we were going to look at. You know, I'm old enough to remember when we cut the ribbon on the Austin Airport. In fact, I was the mayor at the time that cut the ribbon on the Austin Airport. And one of the things we were very, very proud of was that we were going to have Austin people at the Austin Airport providing the food and drink. And at that time, we said we weren't going to have anything except local flavor, if you will.
They sent an email to me yesterday saying, we've got a deadline now for local artists. The deadline is the 31st. That's pretty quick. And it's also, you know, they're asking folks to put together an application that is intense and needs to be thoughtful if this is our airport. Is the process that they're doing now one that you think is fair?
Well, here's the way I'll answer the question. I'm going to see if the process works, and if it doesn't work because they shifted gears in the middle of it, and that's part of the reason it didn't work, which is what's happened, then we're going to have to talk about the process. The process, you don't fix what I consider to be a broken process by just putting a Band-Aid on it. You need to fix the process.
So what is that process? This is all part of the Art in Public Places program. That's something that's being looked at right now by the City of Austin after several issues, not just with these contracts at the airport, but also with some art that was brought forward by that program at the convention center. We have details on how local artists can apply for these contracts at the airport over at KXAN.com, along with all of our reporting on the Art in Public Places program. Will.
And Grace Reeder reporting live for us there again at Austin City Hall. Thank you for these updates and for the additional reporting. We appreciate it.